All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second annual Global Goddess Fest, a week-long virtual festival to inspire, activate, and connect female leaders, entrepreneurs, and creatives worldwide. So welcome, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks for being here. And today we have a very special guest, Jigme from Vancouver, Canada. And the two of us actually met all the way in Greece just a few months ago. So it's super fun to have her on for the Global Goddess Fest and to share a little bit more about what her amazing knowledge and wisdom can bring. So to give you a little background, Jigme is the founder of Mine and Yours Luxury Resale. She's the founder of the Dream Factory Mastermind. She's a business coach, and she's the creator of Big Vibe Life connection cards. So obviously a super cool woman to be on here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah. And so Jigme's energy is just so bright, and she really brings this quality of beauty everywhere she goes, which is really fun. And then as I got to know her as we were on a sailing trip together, I found out that she has this amazing luxury resale. And it's like, okay, this is making sense. Like, you're impact driven and you're like a kick-ass businesswoman. So yeah, of course. So, and then it was so fun because like a few days after, she goes, oh, I also have this like card game that I created. We're like, she's like, yeah, it's like Big Vibe Life connection game. And it was just like, oh my gosh, you were so next level. And so talk about someone really utilizing their creative essence and bringing it into business and having these visions and really bringing it into the physical. So she has been featured and quoted in Business Vancouver, the Toronto Star, LA Times, the Globe and Mail, CTV News, Global News, the Vancouver Sun, so many more. The list goes on and on. And along with her entrepreneurial journey, she has learned the power of manifestation, visioning, taking inspired action, and now she loves to share those insights with others so that way they can flourish too. So thank you for being here. Everyone that's watching, get your pens and papers out. Time to take notes.
Aw, this is amazing. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I want to just start in, um, how did you find your soul purpose? Maybe or maybe a piece of your soul purpose. And what would you say to all the women that are watching, knowing that maybe I feel like a majority maybe have like an idea of what their soul purpose is, but maybe aren't like fully in it. Maybe they don't have this like epic empire and then are living it every day. So what would you say to those kind of women?
Yeah, well, I can start by sharing my own journey.
Yeah.
Finding my soul purpose began by losing my soul purpose, as so many journeys do. Began in total darkness, total despair, in a total fog. I was deeply depressed and confused and had anxiety growing up. So I really had to dig deep to try and save myself. And of course, I went through all the traditional methods first, medication and therapy and everything. And I really didn't discover my soul until my probably like early 30s. And it was through when I was really sick and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, and nothing was working until I discovered energy medicine. And I had really never been open to those things. My mother was a Buddhist, but I kind of reject all forms of spirituality in favor of forms of materialism. But when I discovered energy medicine and Reiki and acupuncture and just listening to podcasts and reading about energy medicine, that's when things started to shift for me. And that's when I first got a glimpse of my soul. And it wasn't my soul purpose, it was just my own gosh darn soul. So I just was aware that there's so much more than me and this world. And I first felt that connection to it, and it was so glorious. But the gateway drug to that was utter and complete despair. And so many people, that's how their awakening starts, is in a really dark moment. And ever since then, I've higher levels of awakening have been ushered in through similar circumstances, like a terrible breakup or a massive confusion. And all these things always lead us back to ourself, to our soul, and to the true essence that is. So my journey has been ushered in through crisis and despair, and I'm not alone in that. So if anyone's watching and they're going through that, and they're even drawn to this beautiful platform that you've created, that's their soul yearning to be discovered. So it's nothing to be totally lost on. It's just a gentle nudge, or sometimes more of a push towards discovering your soul and your purpose. So when I kind of got my strength back and was able to move and walk and think again, it happened pretty quickly. I was inspired to create a business. Once I woke up, I felt like I was ready to be active in the world. And I had this idea for a clothing store. I'd seen similar stores in Los Angeles, and I knew the business model would work in Vancouver. So I pretty much duplicated the business model, but in a different geographic location, and was super inspired to launch and open this business. And I opened up mine and yours in my living room in 2013. And now it's grown into a 7-figure business, and it's widely popular here in Canada. And the journey of entrepreneurship and building that business has been a soul's mission in and of itself. So my soul wants to grow and wants to expand and wants to discover, and it's most alive when it's evolving and growing and expanding and learning and sharing and teaching. Those are the things that light me up. Is finding out more about how this world works and how the world outside of this world works. So my soul's journey and purpose is that mission of discovery and knowledge, and very much of a seeker. And now I've gotten to a point in my career and my evolution as a soul where I'm like really ready to share all the things I found out. Up until this year, it was always a kind of private, personal journey that I do, reading late at night or early in the morning, or going on retreats and really filling up my own soul's cup. But this year, my cup has begun to runneth over, and that's why I've expanded into coaching and leading masterminds and leading retreats, because the knowledge is just too good to keep to myself. So that's kind of been my journey. But a really good way for people to discover what their soul's purpose is to recall the times when they were most in flow and they most felt connected. And I've been doing this exercise with people that I coach and people in my mastermind, and it's so funny. Like that, what comes up for me is learning, expansion, growing, adventure, freedom. These words, like words have so much power, and whatever words light you up, that's a good indication where to start. But for so many people, it's love, it's connection, it's family, it's loyalty, or it's like respect or achievement. Like these things are all indications of the kind of experience your soul wants to have in this life. So that's a great way to start, is to really look at those moments throughout your life when you felt lit up, and they can change over time as well.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I think it's just so cool. I like hearing your story about, that the part where you're like late night reading your books and, doing this all like undercover. And I think so many women can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely relate to that. Even though I feel I'm pretty open and out there with everything I'm doing, there's still like these little secrets and magic tricks that I'm using, really connecting with my spirituality to help kind of boost everything I'm doing. So I kind of want to hone in on that, and kind of this like, it's almost like this coming out of the closet in terms of being
Absolutely.
like, yeah, I am spiritual. Oh my gosh. And like, what was that like? And I'm sure it wasn't, that easy.
It actually was coming out of the closet, and that's what I said, and it was on Instagram stories. And I had just gone to a spin class, and something always happens to me in spin class near the end when you're spinning, and I feel so connected to my soul. I cry every single spin class, and it's tears of bliss, because it's just my soul is churned up and it's energized, and I'm totally aligned with it. And And I got an Instagram stories, and it was like early in the morning before I was opening up my shop. And I'm like, I just got to share something. I'm coming out of the spiritual closet. I cry in spin class. And I got, and I was just like, and I don't care what anyone thinks. Like, I just need to talk about this. And I just felt really moved to say something. And I got such a big response. And every time I share something on social media about this stuff, I get a huge response. And I feel like women are at a time where they're screaming to come out of the spiritual closet. And thanks to you guys, you amazing goddesses on this sailing trip, you inspired me, first of all, I have like so many oracle decks now. All these girls had the oracle decks all over the sailing boats, and they're actually very, very helpful to connect and to guide you on a daily basis and through your problems. But you also inspired me to start moon circling in my home city of Vancouver. And I'm a reluctant moon circler. Like, I have an MBA. I have my own business. I'm in fashion. I'm like, what the frig am I doing hosting a moon circle? But I'm also really connected to source and to those nudges. And I know when to listen to them. Otherwise, they're going to make me do something. So I'm like, okay, a hint of inspiration is telling me to do a moon circle. It's counterintuitive. I'm super busy, but my soul's purpose is to help raise the vibration of humanity. And if this will do it, then I'm going to do it, because I'm in service of this higher mission. So I hosted a moon circle just last week, and everyone was so excited to come and to share and to step out of the spiritual closet and to talk about it openly. So we just sat around in a circle and we're like, what is your relationship with spirituality? And these are women that I knew very well from business. And like, some of them were like, I can make lights turn on and off. Like, I can harness power, and I can hear voices, and I can hear my spirit guides. And these are like respectable women in business, but we never talk about this stuff. And I don't understand why we don't. But like, moon circling, this goddess platform, these conversations, they're important to bring out into the open, because this awakening needs to be discussed. It shouldn't be a dirty little secret and shouldn't be private anymore. So we are all raising the consciousness by bringing the conversation to the forefront.
Yeah, and I think that's so powerful, is that, it's not just the hippies that are hula hooping on the grass lawns anymore that are talking about this sort of stuff, right? And I think that's most women, I think, are women and men are becoming aware, okay, there's something else going on here. And I'm still here in the physical world. So what does this merging even look like? How do I hold the balance of these two worlds, where, our physical world, what's happening globally, there's a lot of shifts politically, religious, in different religions. There's a lot that's being brought up right now, wars that have been going on and on. And so there's kind of this question where it's like, okay, well, what else? Like, what else do we have here to work with and to start diving into and understanding? Because we all are having these experiences. And an interesting question would be to like think back onto the timeline of, where did this get lost in our ancestry? Where did this start to get turned down and to be turned shut, like to close it up, like don't tell anyone, don't talk about it, and almost like numb out from it? Because I think there are people that still are like, I don't know what these crazy people are talking about, because there's a numbing sensation that's happened for so long. And then look at the other timeline where, okay, what does the future hold for us if we're just starting to come out? So I would love to hear, what is your future vision? How do you see this taking a role in business and globally? Because I know you're a global traveler. So how do you see global business shifting as this emergent spirituality is kind of coming out of the closet?
Yeah, well, I'd love to speak to kind of what you said about the timeline, because I really think it happened with the witch hunts. I think that's like women were connected to source energy and to the earth, and it scared certain people in society hundreds of years ago, and people were murdered for that. And I think that's when it kind of went underground. And that's when like it started being in secret and like in hushed circles at night, or all alone by ourselves with a book, or like going to those bookstores. And I think that's when it began, but we don't need to be scared about that anymore. It's all good. We're good witches, and and nothing wrong with it. And by coming out and embracing it and championing it, we're healing them as well. We're healing, everything exists at the same time. So I believe we're healing women of the future and of the past, like the whole lineage of sisters, by having conversations like this and bringing it into mainstream society. And that's a download that I got when I was on our spiritual retreat in Greece. I was like, how do I fit into this? And I'm a great vessel because, you know, like Chanel, like I have a luxury clothing store. I'm in fashion. I'm very much in the matrix, like, and I'm respected there. And I'm not a hippie dancing on the on the lawn, and that doesn't even appeal to me. So to weave this stuff we're talking about into the material world and make it all one and make it all okay and make it able to coexist, I think is very important and very powerful. And that's kind of where I see my piece fitting into all this, because it makes it okay. Because like the hippie thing can turn some certain parts of society off, and we need all parts of society to tap into their power and know their souls. So it's really a joint effort and a union of all walks of life, to remember. And sorry, what was the next part of the question? I just wanted to talk about this grand chapter that I see.
Yeah, and so then the next part was like, what do you envision? How do you see global business shifting as spirituality is becoming more at the forefront of what you're experiencing in this human reality?
Well, I find it will become so much more conscious. There are even certain companies that don't, when energy is off, they won't book business calls. Like, you know, like working, co-creating with the universe, co-creating with the moon and the powers and the energies and the shifts, and being conscious of them. You can plan business around it. Like, I can't believe I'm admitting this on the internet, but like I've started planning my month around my month, just because I know what my energy is like, and I want to honor when I need to be quiet and be reflective, and honor when I'm ready to go and power through and serve. So just kind of conscious co-creation with powers and the energies that be. And I think it'll be totally mainstream. I think it'll be way more accepted, and things like vision boarding and conscious co-creation and just meditation and everything, I think will be completely mainstream. And I think that's a really good thing. Also conscious lifestyle design. Like I'm sitting on my bed and you're on a beach in the middle of the day and we're raising the vibration of humanity and we're making money like this. And we're in different cities. Like, this is amazing.
Different countries.
We're in different countries. And this is something some people could never have imagined just a short while ago. And in the future, there will be something that we could never even imagine. So just the idea of manifestation, like if you explained what we're doing to someone 50 years ago, they would have thought it's magic. So knowing that is like, really anything is possible.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And, you know, Jigme and I were talking about this right before we started recording this video, and I was telling her, I was setting up, because I'm literally sitting on a hill overlooking the ocean right now, and I was saying, you know, this is really funny because I need to like make sure that I'm like not going to roll off this hill right now. And like last year, I really created a beautiful office space, and I wanted to kind of showcase like, all right, there's this like consistent office space that I'm in for these videos. And looking back, I'm like, that was interesting, but it was very different than my normal life. My normal life is doing business calls on the beach, is taking my clients to dance classes and walking around with our feet on the earth, you know, going to different destinations around the world. And so there was a piece that I really wanted to showcase this in the videos that are being recorded for the Global Goddess Fest this year. You know, some are on top of a mountain, some are at the beach, some are here or there. And being able to have that sort of freedom, you know, creating really what is your conscious lifestyle design? I love that title for it, because I'm an outdoor lover. I need to be outside. I need the vitamin D. That's why I live in Southern California, right? And everyone that's watching, I'm sure, has their own thing. Maybe you're more of a homebody and you would just want to be home. You want to be able to make your tea whenever you can. And so understanding that this is actually a time where you can do this. And hopefully you're able to watch these videos and get inspiration for what is really possible, because it is all possible. And so I love that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone that is watching, Jigme has a free gift for you all. So the link below will link you directly to her for 20% off coaching packages. So do you want to take like a minute to speak about what the packages look like?
Yeah, so basically, I love this idea of weaving in the spiritual with the business. So a soul-aligned business plan. So I do have an MBA. I have built a 7-figure business, but I'm also really woke. And I feel like that I want to help women and men operate in the material world, but with divine guidance in alignment with that, so their lives don't go off course. So it's really finding that soul aligned business plan that really jives with the lifestyle that you want, because sometimes we think we want a big empire, but do you really want to be a CEO in an office, or do you want to be able to work from your bedroom or from the beach, and what does that look like, and how to make money around that? So it's a kind of reverse engineered life and business plan over 6 sessions. So that's my coaching offer.
Yeah, awesome. And then anyone that is interested in downloading the whole festival, Jigme also does destination retreats. So she'll also do a 15% off destination retreat packages as well if you download the full thing. So definitely check her out.
I actually want to talk about that. I think this will air after this first one, but then the one I have coming up, it's Manifest in a Mansion in Miami. So I've rented this 10-bedroom magnificent mansion because it is all about we're manifesting the material. So it's a luxury retreat in a mansion. We have a yacht, we have a DJ. It's living the lifestyle, living the dream, but also having whole conscious conversations and workshops about it. So it's about the art of visualization and manifestation, and the mindset and the techniques that you need to embody in order to manifest, and also ways to release limiting beliefs that will come up as you attempt to manifest. And then you also have an action plan as well. So that these are the styles of retreats that I like to run. Super bougie and luxurious like me, but spiritual and like leaving you with a plan and a tribe that you're forever connected to, much like we are.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, so if you feel called to this, I just love Jigme's energy. And, I got to spend like a week and a half with her in Greece, and we just had so much fun playing. And so thank you so much for coming onto the Global Goddess Fest and playing virtually. And yeah, I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you to all the viewers that came and watched today's videos. We'll see you soon, and enjoy your day.
Mwah! Love you.